Hey guys, so yeah, I'm just as surprised as you guys. I'm reviewing this. I wasn't expecting to be able to review this episode until tomorrow, but I guess they decided to release it early or something like that. But yeah, okay. So obviously, with this episode, one of the first things to talk about is that even though it wasn't like it hasn't been fully confirmed to from Gio and the others yet, there's a brief scene that shows heavy indications toward Lyserg having joined the X-Laws, and in fact, the episode more than makes it clear. And yeah, my response was, "Bye, Felicia." Like, yeah, I'm sorry. I know I keep being mean to Lyserg. I don't mean to be an ass about the whole thing, but again, the one major flaw with the reboot and the manga, frankly, is that they don't exactly give Lyserg as much as a send off compared to the original anime, where even though I still wasn't a fan of the character, at least the one thing I can give to the original anime is that they do build the relationship between Lyserg and the group, as well as just generally do more in order to humanize him beyond his desire for revenge. Whereas here, even though they do well at showing just how much revenge has consumed Lyserg and just how much that has turned him into a broken shell of of who he would like to be, it's he still, the problem with Lyserg in the reboot and the manga is that he still feels so disconnected from the group that despite this episode's best efforts to build up the moment where Yo and the others will learn the truth about Lyserg's switch in allegiances, I'm just not gonna care. And while I'm not gonna say Lyserg goes through no development beyond this point, this episode was kind of a reminder as well that oftentimes when reading the manga, he felt like a substitute until pretty much Faust joined the group. In fact, despite the character's reservations about Faust, they pretty much they do ironically pretty much make him look like the better option. Frankly, Faust honestly just has pretty much way more going for him. And yeah, honestly, I pretty much felt a lot more sympathetic towards I feel a lot more sympathetic, honestly, towards Faust in the reboot, even more than I do than I pretty much do in the original anime. Frankly, pretty much Faust has way more of a presence in the reboot for me. Um, and yeah, speaking of Faust, though Anna, we see that Anna pretty much commits to the idea of recruiting Faust, which compared to the original anime, again, I do like how the reboot gives more reasoning and context behind why Anna ended up recruiting Faust. And don't get me wrong, in some ways it's played for a joke, but I do like how it also shows a legitimate reasoning behind that there are reasons for pretty much her to recruit Faust. Like just the fact that he is a doctor is like in itself shows that yeah he pretty much can serve an actually good purpose. Whereas the original anime they just kind of said she. Whereas the original anime, they just kind of made up the excuse that Anna made a deal with him and resurrected Eliza in return. And really, as a whole, the episode felt like a massive flex moment for Anna and showed why she's not someone you pretty much want to mess with or take lightly. She's just as powerful, if not more so, than Yo currently. And honestly, I think the reboot is also doing a lot more towards emphasizing the pretty much scale of her power, whereas before we just were left to assume she was on the same strength level as the others. Maybe a little more powerful, but here we get the scope of how powerful she has become and how much Yo and the others still have to learn. Like at this point, when you really think about it, Anna and Hao are basically the benchmarks for everyone else to reach. They're pretty much the ones that they're pretty much the ones that everyone they're pretty much the benchmarks that everyone has to reach with this episode. And now, with that said, the rest of the episode shows the start of the tournament with French Ren with French Ren Horo Horo and with Ren Horo Horo and with Ren Horo Horo and Chaco stepping up to fight, and everyone pretty much got. And I do like how everyone more or less got a chance to shine in this fight. But I think Ren and Prince Chaco were definitely the ones who stood out the most. With from Chaco, it was because up to this point, like it's obvious that when it comes to Chocolov, because up to this point, really all we've seen of him is just cracking wise with his jokes and all that. Like he's just been kind of a comedic side character. But this episode was his time to shine, and honestly, despite every so often revisiting the original anime, I still forget more often than not just how much of a powerful fighter and shaman he actually is. Like, it's weird. Like with it's weird with the original anime. I kind of get the reverse of how I remember Lyserg more, but when it comes to Chaco, he kind of disappears in the background. Whereas here, it's kind of the reverse. I think I'm getting more of Chaco, but Lyserg kind of just tends to disappear into the background. And and on top of but with Chaco, on top of generally having some very frightening abilities, honestly, and demonstrating the raw and feral power that an animal spirit has over like a human spirit. I like how through like Prince Chaco basically defeating Howe's like the two members of Howe's team showcases there are numerous ways in which a shaman can fight, and it isn't just limited to one or two styles of combat. So there's more to shaman. It shows there's more to shaman combat than just oversoul, like put it like fuse with the spirit or fuse it with a weapon. That there's many different forms in which you can achieve oversoul in this episode, and it shows it. Um, Now, with that, now on the other side of the coin, though, even though it was only for a brief moment at the end, I feel this episode did a little bit of a better job at portraying Ren's abilities as a leader. Because I remember in the original anime, this fight was kind of played for laughs by having everyone kind of argue with each other. But here we get a bit more of a sense of what you of of what Ren is like when he is put in a position of leadership, and how how carefully he knows how to analyze the situation. Like just at the end of the episode, for example, you can tell he's already got a plan in order to counter Peyote's abilities, and it's not. And even though he does have a little bit of that sly, malicious look on his face, it is an ability. It is a plan that doesn't involve killing them either. Like you can just tell from the way Ren speaks, he's got a confidence to him right now where he knows how he can. He can defeat them he can defeat them without actually killing the Furnish 2 Music Brothers kind of thing. So in that respect, it also shows growth on Ren's character, that on top of the fact that he does know how to be a leader, he knows how to do things without killing people this time. And yeah, now with that said, if I were to have any kind of criticism, I guess, with this episode, I think one for me that has always kind of remained after from having read the manga with this fight is that it wasn't exactly a good first showing of pretty much Howe's men. I mean, with pretty much, I mean, I guess there is a little bit of a leeway to speak, since from Howe himself basically says he only sent Peyote and the two brothers out there as a means in order to test Ren's abilities. Like they're just there as they're just there as a means to kind of in order for how to see just how powerful they are. Like they're not even meant there to actually win in some respects. It's just kind of it would just be a bit of a it would just be a bit of a it would just be a bit of a thing of oh okay just yeah. But I do so yeah, in that respect it's a little off, but I do like how Peyote himself still does kind of put like Ren and his team in the position of if you want to defeat me, you just gotta kill them kind of thing. But again, Ren you can see Ren kind of has a plan of how to defeat Peyote without killing the other two. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm on Twitter, Analyst, Crunchyroll. Be sure to hit the notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and just follow me around, guys. Dead Night of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.